How's it going, my dudes? Welcome back to another video. So you've probably heard of the Blobble one-punch team by now, and if you have not heard, it looks something like this. I will show you what it does later on. And yes, it kind of one-punches the boss, but it does take a long time to channel and charge up and build up everything that you need in order to do like 100 million damage or something like that. So you don't drop the boss immediately at the start. But this is not the team that I ran with. I ran with something slightly different, let me show you. And this was actually based on a YouTube video that I watched previously. It was shared to me by one of the YouTube guys called Kaeron. Thanks for the video, big shout out to you. So I've spent about a good 2 hours since the event dropped just to do this, right? And it was extremely difficult. It was quite unstable, to say the least. You need to have a lot of buffs dropped at the right time, and you need your ally skills to go off at the right time as well. There is a lot of timing that matters in this build, and you need to land a lot of power flips consecutively until you build up to the stage where you finally drop the one punch. So I would say that this team is kind of like a fun team. It's not really a team that you want to use regularly. It is slightly faster than most other teams, but to be honest, if you already have units like these, you should be able to run a very fast auto team nonetheless. So you don't really need to use this so much. If you want to run manual, this is something that you can play with. It's quite fun. And there is a reason why Hopper is at the leader slot and not Beretta, even though Beretta is strictly better than Hopper in every aspect. And that's because we need the Blobble to be right below Beretta, because Beretta is going to be the unit that charges our combos. And yet Blobble doesn't add a lot of attack to the leader. Therefore, Blobble is not going to be like the leader sub. Instead, we want something like Murakumo with 250% attack power to the leader, and that's going to drive our DPS quite high. And it's simply because of this that's why Hopper is the leader and not Beretta. And of course, if you do not have the Malted, you can use a Positron Shooter on your leader, it works as well. And if you do not have Noen, you're just going to have to make do with something with less power. So any unit that increases your attack or increases your power flip damage, those will be good options. So without further ado, let's take a look at the team in action. All I have to say is practice, 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 and you get the hang of it. So at the start, your early game role is to just keep bouncing around and trying your best to achieve 20 combos. It's going to be a little bit difficult because like you see sometimes I hit 19 and it's like, it's so close, but sometimes the boss drops some ads and the ads really help with the combo building. So the reason why you want to have 20 combos is because your Positron Shooter grants you extra power flip damage, and not only that, your Beretta also grants you a little bit more power flip damage on 20 combos. So if you look at the top, those are all the power flip damage buffs that I have just by charging up 20 combos each time. So that will be the goal going into the one punch itself. And you want to save all your skills. So as you can see, I'm not using any skill right now. I'm saving until I can more or less throw all the 3 skills together. And my preference is always going to be Rolf, followed by Hopper, followed by Beretta. So a good time to use your skills is when you know that a 9 chain is going to drop. So you can time it perfectly. Like me right now, I'm not really timing it, but I suspect that it is possible. And lo and behold, we do achieve a 9 chain combo over here. And Beretta goes last, and then you just keep spamming the screen. What you notice over here is that the Blobble actually moves you backwards while you are tapping the screen, and that triggers a lot of power flips. And I'm not sure why. I think it's just a graphical error. The power flip seems to go downwards. That doesn't really make sense. It's probably just graphical. But if you're able to successfully charge up a lot of power flip buffs before the one punch actually happens, you're more than likely to do like upwards of 100 million damage. So like I said, it really boils down to luck sometimes. If you do not have the perfect positioning, or maybe if you're struck with the fever, that's super annoying sometimes, that could severely affect your run. So ideally, the best time for you to throw Beretta's skill is about when Beretta is rolling down about halfway through the flipper. So the flipper will toss you a little bit to the center while you're casting your skill, and that's where optimality lies. So yeah, I wasn't able to perform the one punch, but I kind of got the gist of it. It works something like this. It was fun until it got frustrating, so I eventually I just gave up. So be it. I'm happy with this. I can use it to teach you guys how it works, and I'm sure you guys can perform a lot better than me. After all, I'm all about the auto life. I don't really enjoy manual that much, but this has been really fun. This was one of the most exciting experiences that I had. Sad to say, it is not really replicable outside of this boss because you'll never find a boss that is that big. You can't even use this for Orochi because Orochi drops a lot of nonsense like paralysis, ads, and all that kind of stuff that's just gonna hinder you a lot of the time. It's not quite like this boss when you can go around the boss, build up combos that way, etc, play safe. Anyway, I'll put the link down in the description. You can check out the original video. He did it a lot better than I did, and there are people who can actually hit 120 million, which is basically one-shotting the entire boss. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This has been free to play by the way, and as always, I will see you in the next video.